Hi, Zizaran here with another Last Epoch video, and this is going to be a Last Epoch leveling tips and tricks to go faster in the campaign. So if you are unfamiliar with Last Epoch, it has a wonderful campaign. We are going to go through it now with Tarek. And Tarek has been dubbed the Tai Killer of Last Epoch, so thank you so much for joining me here today, Tarek. For those that have played Last Epoch before, but they feel like, they're quite slow during the campaign, we're going to talk about a really nice route where you're not doing any crazy like skipping and going into the endgame super early, but we're talking about a really good route where you don't need to do these side quests. They're not important, because in Last Epoch, if you did every side quest, you would actually unlock more than the max amount of idols and passive slots. So let's say that you can only have 15 passive slots and 8 idols. There might be enough quests to unlock 22 or something passive skills and like 12 plus idle slots, right? And since that's past the max, then you're only doing the side quest for a little bit of gold and practically wasting your time. So that's what we're going to go over in this video.
Yeah, so the way the campaign works is that you can already go into the end game after chapter 2. So it kind of have like different routes depending on what you want to do. So the first route is going to be doing the full campaign, as we're going to get like factions by 1.0. That's where we're going to unlock the faction system. It's at the last chapter. So I guess this is like more of like a new player friendly route. And then we have another route where we want to just collect all the passive points and all the idle slots. So this one, instead of doing the full campaign, we are going to do up to chapter 7, which is here in the Divine Era. And then there's the final route, which is basically like the blaster route, if you want to blast at 1.0, which is stopping at chapter 5. And don't worry, you're still gonna unlock your faction. There is, in this game, dungeons that allow you to skip part of the campaign. And the dungeon that we're gonna use is gonna be called the Temporal Sanctum. And so after doing that dungeon, we are gonna get up to chapter 9 directly. So it doesn't matter if we stop at chapter 7 or chapter 5, we at least have to get up to chapter 5. That's the goal, no matter the route.
So is there any like downside to not finishing the campaign before starting mapping?
So the downside are only going to be temporary, because if you stop before doing the full campaign, you're probably not going to have all the passive point rewards and not all the idle slots rewards. You also don't have access to the factions, and you don't have access +1 to all attributes from killing the last boss of the campaign.
Okay.
But outside of that, there's not really any downside to it. I guess maybe efficiency. If you go early, maybe your build is like a bit too weak to tackle the end game. But yeah, you can get access to everything, like all the passive point and idle slots after doing the skip. So in the end, it's just a matter of choice. What do you want to do? Do you want to take it chill, or do you want to go as fast as possible?
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with the first route.
The start of the campaign, chapter 1. And there is one side quest that you want to do in the storeroom.
Okay.
So you go there, you get to the northern road, then you go back to Keeper's Camp, and then you're gonna progress to the chapter boss at the summit. Then it's gonna get you to the Rune Era, and this is the start of chapter 2.
Yeah.
So chapter 2 is all of this part, and before going to the Colton Chamber, you're gonna get to the Last Refuge Outskirts, and there's another side quest here that you have to do. You basically have to talk to like 3 NPCs, and then once you reach the Colton Chamber, that's where the quest ends. Here you also have another side quest that you have to do, where you want to get to Urza's library.
Yeah.
And this one is very particular because you have 2 choices after completing this quest. You have to choose between 2 uniques. One that is a glove that gives you elemental damage leech and elemental resistances, and another one which is like an amulet that gives you guaranteed crit, and then you don't crit for a few seconds.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty important one. I recommend choosing the one that gives you elemental res, so it fits basically
Avarice,
on every
right?
build. Yeah, it's Avarice.
Well.
So yeah, you do that side quest at Urza's library. You continue to Pinion Study, where you have to fight basically like 3 mini-boss. And then once you come back to the cultic chamber, that's where you have to make the choice between the two items. So the gambler is like the crit amulet, and the NPC on the left is gonna be the gloves. Next, you go to the precipice, where you fight like a mini boss, like a void worm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that one. And then you're gonna have a choice, either go on the right or the left. And on the left, there is an area called the Upper District. So this is a side quest that you don't do. So you would go directly on the right and fight the mini boss, then go to the Lower District and fight the boss. And this is where you're gonna get like your mastery.
Oh, yeah,
And-
because they
and
moved
also-
that. It's a lot
yeah.
earlier now.
Yeah, before it was here at the Sanctum Bastille, and they
Mm.
moved it to here at Chapter 2.
Awesome.
And then you're gonna go back once you've chosen your mastery. You go back to the cultic chamber and you move on. You continue. You're gonna get to the cultist camp. Here in the cultist camp, there's gonna be like another side quest that you don't do, where it asks you to kill like some mobs in the rune of Welrin. You don't care about it. You just continue to Welrin and the city.
I think,
You do the side.
is Runes of Elrond the place I always die with like the warlocks?
It is basically the hardest parts of the campaign.
Yeah.
So you do the quest here. Then you go back. You do the quest here in Welrin Docks. That allows you to go further. Then you fight the boss in the ritual site. Then you continue to the Shatter Valley. Shatter Valley, you're gonna have like access to an area at the top. You don't go there, and you also have like I'm just gonna call them time rift. You know,
Yeah.
those purple like time rift. You don't click on that either for that route.
Okay.
You just move on, continue. So this is gonna be like chapter 3, all of this. And once you fight the boss, you're gonna get back to the end of time. And then you go to chapter 4. So chapter 4 is all of this in the Imperial era.
Yeah.
And in this chapter, you basically just want to do the side quests here at the Risen Lake.
Oh, okay.
So the side quest is you have like a time rift after the waypoint. You want to take the time rift, and you're gonna have to kill like a mini boss. And once you've killed them, you basically got the reward for it. No need to talk to like any NPC. So yeah, that's chapter 4. No other side quests. Then in chapter 5, so here is chapter 5, all the desert areas. You're gonna want to do one side quest. No, 2 side quests, sorry. Which is gonna be in Majelka,
Okay.
the first one. So Majelka, you're gonna see, you're gonna have to like rescue like NPCs, like 2 NPCs in that area. This is gonna be like the main quest. And if you go at the bottom right of the area, there's gonna be same like an NPC on the ground. I think he died. I'm not a lore expert in the
Yeah.
game.
The lore's not important. Most people don't care about that.
Yeah. And you kill the monsters around it, and is gonna like complete the quest once you talk to him. And there is the second one that you want to do is at the town called the Oracle's Abode. And it's gonna ask you to go back to the Shining Cove. And in the Shining Cove on the right, there's gonna be like doors that opens for you, and there's gonna be a time rift getting you here to the Rune Coast. So you kill the mini boss. You also want, after killing the mini boss, very important, continue to the next area, and that's gonna be like the entrance to the Temporal Sanctum. So you already have like the waypoint unlocked for that dungeon.
Awesome.
So that's gonna be like chapter 5. Just continue, move on. This is chapter 6, all of this. Here you don't do any side quest. No side quest to do. I think you have to talk to one NPC in Eula's Heaven.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Then there's chapter 7 right here.
Yeah, here's where I usually level in like Hioberia.
Yeah, this is very good because that's where like the density picks up.
Yeah.
Like you have a lot of monsters. Chapter 7, only one side quest to do is in the Wengari Fortress. You need to talk to the NPC at the entrance, and you will like fight a mini-boss and rescue like some NPCs. And once you come back to town, you're gonna have like your reward and everything. But no need to do like any other side quest. You can move on to the Temple of Eroth, continue here, and fight the boss. So that's it for chapter 7. Then chapter 8, okay, this one in terms of the map is a bit more complex because you have this bit here,
Yeah.
plus all of this and all of this.
Okay.
This is the Lagon chapter.
Yeah.
And in this one, the only side quest that you have to do is the Lias Tower side quest. So
Okay.
once you reach Lias Road, you're gonna have to kill like some mobs to spawn. I think it's Liath, and then she gives you access to the Tima.
Yeah.
And once you reach the Tima, you basically want to come back here and do the quest in Lias Tower because you don't get access to the tower before. And if you go to the tower before reaching the Tima, you're gonna have to like fight the mobs again, so it's not very optimal.
Right.
Then that's the following of chapter 8. Here, what I recommend doing, instead of going left, then go back, then right, I recommend going to the Moonlit Shrine, and then go on the left and the right. You're gonna have like access to it here.
Oh. Right.
It's a bit faster. I know there is like also like a side quest in the coral pools that you don't have to do.
Okay.
And then you just come back, put the orb on the shrine, and then it unlocks the access to it. And finally, chapter 9. Chapter 9, the only side quest that you want to do is in the Radiant Dunes. This is a side quest on the bottom right of the area, where you have access to like a basement, and you have to kill like a mini boss, and it gives you like an item for a quest. After you get that, you just move on, and once you reach Majelka slums, there's gonna be for the main quest, like spots on your minimap is gonna be like 3 spots, and you have to kind of guess like where the correct basement is. So the one for the main quest is like top right, and the one for the side quest is gonna be on the left of the top right.
Oh, they're static.
Kind of, yeah, they are static. This one, they are static. You can kind of like haggle with him, the NPC, to get more gold out of it.
Right.
I think by default it's like 5k gold, and you can get like 20k gold or maybe even more. I don't remember.
Nice.
And
at this point in the campaign, do we already have max passive points and max idols?
So by that point, you have 14 out of 15 and 8 out of 8.
Okay.
And the final point is going to be doing Majasa, the final boss. And that's where you get your final passive point and all your attributes. But if your build that cannot really handle that boss for some reason, you can do like other side quests that gives you like the passive point for you, and you do like the boss later on. It's not a big deal. It's just +1 to all attributes, so it's like very min-maxy.
It's very nice though. Awesome. I think that's gonna make me a lot faster through the campaign. That's a pretty good route. So that was a tips and tricks video with Tarek, who is just an insane speedrunner at the game, and he's going to be streaming so much at launch. So if you have any questions, you can drop by his channel and ask, and he'll be able to help you with so many aspects of the game. And just by watching him as well, you're going to be able to pick up so many neat tips and tricks for how to improve your campaign if you're a returning player and you feel like it's maybe not going as fast as you'd want to. But especially for me, just seeing like what side quests and stuff I can skip, I already know that I'm going to shave off like an hour or 2 off my campaign. So huge thank you to Tarek for doing this. I hope you guys are enjoying all the collabs that we're doing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out his channel. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.